Hi, everyone. Time now 6 o'clock here on this New Year's Eve. Thank you for starting your day with us here on Sunrise. I'm Jason Hackett. Alicia has the morning off. Let's get to John out in the backyard. John, the last day of 2024. Wow. Hard to believe.
It is crazy. It goes so fast now. I feel like, how are we in the middle of winter? Well, if we're in winter, let's change the game. I'm good with the warmth. Wow, what did the warmth give us? Fog every day? Not today. Breaking news, no fog this morning as you're getting up, and you could think the only thing that could save us, the wind. The wind right now out of the northwest at 17 miles per hour. Still very warm. I'm enjoying one last day without the gloves. Probably got to go gloves tomorrow. It's still nice out here though. I can just actually click. Whenever I have the gloves on, I do misclicks, and who knows where the graphics are going to go. One button for me would be good. There's 8 on here. All right, so we're looking at the visibility. It's great. As you go to work, visibility is good. That means the fog has lifted. 30 degrees out there now. You can see a gradual drop in temperatures today as we go through the afternoon. There's a couple of flurries that could mix in. Otherwise, we'll see temperatures hanging around 29. It'd be great to see some sun, but I'm still going mostly cloudy today. But that wind will hang on, should keep us clear. The wind is the reason we're clear today. And then we'll talk about that drop. It comes tomorrow as we ring in the new year in your forecast. Coming up, Cece.
Hey, good morning. Happy to say that the roads are pretty quiet right now, and they really should be that way both today and tomorrow. With the holidays, you shouldn't have too many headaches if you're hitting the road during those times. This is a live look here in Eagan. Good morning if you're waking up there. 35E right here. A few cars going through that area, but not too much to where it's slowing anything down. If we're taking a wider look at the metro, I haven't seen any crashes this morning, which is really good. Hopefully, I'm attributing that to people being off work today, but I'll let you know if that changes, and I'll show you live looks around the metro, more of those, and then also drive times throughout this half hour. Jason.
All right, Cece, thank you. 2 weeks from today, state lawmakers return to the Capitol for the 2025 legislative session. You see the countdown here. But this morning, the balance of power in the House and the Senate remains up in the air. There are now 2 special elections scheduled for the end of the month, plus a few other districts complicating the matter, including the legal drama involving State Senator Nicole Mitchell. She's in court today for a settlement conference in her ongoing burglary case. The Woodbury legislator was arrested and charged with breaking into her stepmother's house last spring. Mitchell has faced repeated calls to step down, but it's unclear right now if she will or if the case will proceed to trial. Audrey Russo is live in St. Paul to break down the races, bringing voters back to the polls. Good morning, Audrey.
Yeah, Jason, these 2 special elections to be held at the end of January should bring some clarity to a question that's normally answered by Election Day, and that is, what will the balance of power be here in St. Paul? So let's take a look at where things stand right now. In the Senate, the 2 parties are tied 33-33. This, of course, with the passing of DFL Senator Kerry Dietzig on Friday. Now, in the House, the Republicans have a 1-seat edge, and that is because a judge ruled that a DFL candidate, Curtis Johnson, can't take his seat because he did not meet the proper residency requirements. Now, the DFL is expected to win both of these contests, but the questions may not end there, and that is because the courts are still not yet ruling on that Shakopee House race where Republicans have launched a challenge over some missing ballots, plus that ongoing legal drama, Jason, as you mentioned, with Senator Nicole Mitchell. All of this playing out. Former lawmakers are weighing in, saying that they do not envy their newer counterparts.
This is unquestionably going to be the wildest start to legislative session, probably in the history of Minnesota, certainly in my lifetime. Session starts January 14th. So we go into session with no real ability to elect leadership.
Yeah, complicated or not, the legislative wheels are going to keep on turning. So what will some of these hangups mean for you, and what will they mean for the government overall as we move into the new year? Well, I'll break down what's at stake coming up in about 30 minutes. But for now, Jason, I'll send things back to you.
All right, a lot to figure out. Could get really complicated. Audrey, thank you. The state legislature passed several new laws that take effect in the next 24 hours. Let's start here. Starting January 1st, renters will be protected by a new law allowing you to join or form tenant associations to ask for better living conditions. If you're thinking of getting a new job in 2025, Minnesota employers will be required to disclose the salary range on all job postings. Also starting tomorrow, ticket sellers like Ticketmaster and StubHub will have to disclose the total price upfront, including all fees. Well, developing this morning, a woman is dead and a man is hurt after they were both hit by a car in St. Louis Park. This all happened around 6 last night on Meadowbrook Road. A 51-year-old woman died at the scene. The other pedestrian is expected to survive. Police say they arrested a 38-year-old man on suspicion of DWI and criminal vehicular homicide. Right now, a downtown Minneapolis bar is stepping up its security for New Year's Eve after one of its bouncers allegedly stabbed a man over the weekend. This happened at the Saloon on Hennepin Avenue around closing time. Police say a man got into an argument with the club's security guard, but officers are still trying to figure out what happened before the stabbing. The man is now in the hospital in critical condition. The security guard also went to the hospital and was arrested after being released. Well, time now 6:06. As we get ready to enter a new year, Americans are honoring former President Jimmy Carter, who died less than 48 hours ago. Later this week, Carter will take a final trip through his hometown of Plains, Georgia, then lie in repose at the Carter Center. He'll then fly to Washington, D.C. to lie in state in the U.S. Capitol building on January 7th. And 2 days later, on January 9th, there will be a state funeral. That day is also a national day of mourning, and most federal employees will have the day off. Carter will then fly to Georgia to be buried alongside his wife, Rosalind Carter. Now, Carter's vice president, Minnesota native Walter Mondale, wrote a eulogy for President Carter before he died. Part of it was released in just the last 24 hours. In it, Mondale said Carter should be remembered for prioritizing human rights and promoting environmental measures. His son, Ted Mondale, will read the full eulogy at Carter's national service in 2 weeks. We are in the final 48 hours of the holiday travel period. New numbers from the FAA show the bad weather impacts from Sunday alone. Hundreds of flights were canceled and there were more than 11,000 delays. Now, we're tracking flights at MSP this morning, and so far we're only seeing 2 cancellations and 2 delays. As we always say, make sure you check ahead. Now, AAA is expecting 90% of people to drive to their destinations because of dropping gas prices. And this morning, we actually saw a 2-cent jump in the average here in Minnesota to $2.86. That's similar to this time a year ago. Still less than the national average of $3.04. All right, taking you out live to St. Paul here at 6:08. The Midway Saloon preparing for their 3rd annual New Year's Eve Bobber Drop to welcome in 2025. You see the bobber there swaying in the breeze, getting ready for the big moment. So we're going to have live music tonight at 9 from the Dylan Salfer Band, leading up to this very, very Minnesota countdown. You can buy tickets online. Entry is free after midnight. And heads up for Metro Transit riders, services will be reduced for New Year's Eve today. Both light rail lines will use Saturday schedules. They're also operating several bus routes after midnight, including the D line between Bloomington and Brooklyn Center. You can find a complete list of changes on Metro Transit's website. A reminder this morning, a $1 million lottery mystery here in Minnesota is still unsolved, and today is the last day for someone to claim that winning ticket. The ticket was bought a year ago as part of the New Year's raffle at the Coburns in Delano. The store manager is hoping whoever bought the ticket will claim their $1 million prize. This morning, one employee has a theory about who has it.
I was, and I believe that I was the person that sold that ticket. I'm just saying. One gentleman paid over $100 for his nieces and nephews, and I'm kind of thinking maybe one of those nieces or nephews won. Just my assumption.
Crazy to think a 12-year-old boy or girl out there has that ticket. The person who has a winning ticket has until the end of the business day today to claim that ticket. If it goes unclaimed, the money is forfeited to the state and will be used to fund roads, bridges, and environmental projects. So again, check those pockets, check those seat cushions. Let's have this winner come forward and claim that prize.